Okay, so Talon calls me up and says, oh my God, you wouldn't believe this. This is in the top 4 of the hoarder houses that we've done. And he's right. Everybody in here's got a mask on. I don't have a mask on because I can't smell anything. And I know I'm still breathing it in, but I don't want to wear the mask because I can't talk. So at any rate, this looks great. When I got here, they were shoveling the debris that was on the floor with a debris shovel into these cans. They were probably 200 cans into this when I got here. Okay, so this end of the house looks good compared to what it was, but look how dirty that is there. When they move stuff in here, there's all kinds of roaches and stuff moving around. They're literally using this debris shovel to get everything out of this person's house. Now this looks good, okay? This looks terrible. It smells, the air is so thick and musty. So take a look in here. So all this right here, look at this. This person was, they were just in a bad situation. So God bless them. They were sick and they weren't taking care of themselves very good. So look at this. There is roach poop everywhere. Look at the door here. Okay. Now look at this. Look at that. Unbelievable. So they were probably sick in the head enough that they didn't want to take stuff outside to take it out to the garbage. So now take a look at this. Okay, we're going to walk through here and walk all the way back to the back. So what happens with people is they need help, they don't know how to ask, or they're not getting the help, or the mental care that they're getting is not here. The mental health care they're getting is not available, and they don't know what to do, and they got nobody to help them. So what ends up happening is they end up with a situation like this. So they self-medicate with alcohol. This is the cheap big 1 gallon things of alcohol, and there's like several hundred of them in here. And then they're not taking care of themselves at all, and there's literally all this crap everywhere. They just threw everything on the floor. It gave up. So if you look in here, this is what we found. And the air is so thick in here, even with my lack of sense of smell, I can feel the pungentness of it. So it's very, very sad. This happens. So let's look back up in here. Look inside this bathroom. Come over here. Don't throw up. You see it? Look at that. They were wiping their ass in the toilet, using the chlorine to break down the smell, and they just threw the toilet paper all over in there. So we're walking back into this next bedroom. So look up in here. So this is their bedroom. Look at their bed itself. Look at that. You see it? Yeah, it's a disease. It's sad. It happens. Look at their pillows. So they were sick. They were sick. They had blood and stuff all over. And look at all the wine glasses in here on the floor. So the owner here wants us to. She wants to try to reuse this refrigerator. You see all these little things on here? That's roach poop. So there's just no way she's ever going to get the smell out of that thing. And we have cleaned some of the dirtiest things you could ever imagine, but it's not going to happen. So instead of putting the guys through that, we're going to take that, throw it in the load, and I'll just give her a fridge. I don't want them to have to deal with it. So over here, this china, this stuff here. Okay, see the red on it? This is worth some money. So not something that we're going to deal with as far as reselling. but all of this stuff sells really good on eBay. All right, so there's a lot of figurines in here, and a lot of these are just going to be cheap things that you get at Walmart. They're not going to be worth anything. I did a Google Lens on a couple of them. Come here and take a look at my Jeep. So a lot of times what ends up happening is we find some really cool stuff, and it's just one or two things and they're worth a lot of money. But unfortunately, you got to go through all this stuff in order to find the stuff that's worth something. So take a look at that. Okay. So we're going to add this to the collection, and this will be something that Angie's going to work through. And a lot of this is just going to be worth anything, and we'll end up taking them over and donating them to the thrift store, and they'll make some money on them. And then the stuff in here. So again, you really don't know what it's worth. Even when you Google Lens it and you pull it up, a lot of stuff is going to be worth absolutely nothing, but there's going to be like 2 or 3 little items that this person picked up in a yard sale or something that actually has some value. Got here, and you guys, how long were you at it before I got here? A couple hours, 4 or 5 hours?
Since 9 o'clock.
Since 9 o'clock this morning?
Yep.
So what did you think when you first got here?
F this job.
Yeah.
Pretty surprised.
Where to start?
Can you believe somebody's living like that?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't believe it, you know?
Yeah. What do you
like that.
what do you think? You think they just didn't give a shit, or they,
I just think that
they had mental
a
health
lady
issues?
that had kids, you know, or somebody living with her, something bad happened, and then it was just her, an older lady, and just for 4, 5, 6 years, however long, just couldn't do it all by herself. Depression set in, and it just until she died.
Kind of looked like she didn't want to even leave the house.
Yeah.
So she's throwing her garbage in here because she doesn't want people out here to judge her because she's not taking.
Outside was spotless.
Was it really?
Perfectly clean. Wouldn't even tell that this
You
was
would
like
never have known.
Really?
If you didn't open the door.
Really?
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
So I talked to Talon. He's getting a hold of them about that fridge. You guys shouldn't have to. We might take the whole fridge and put it in there, but you're not going to have to clean it out.
Okay.
So, but anyway, guys, you got a good attitude about this. Thank you for that. And sorry, this does happen. We've done about 50 of these since we've been doing this, since 2007.
How bad is this one compared to the other ones?
Well, it's in the top 4. We've had some more worse than this. Yeah. And now I haven't had any worse than this in the bathroom. That normally does, and I haven't seen that before.
So what would your approach with that?
Huh?
With the bathrums? Because we're all afraid
Just
about that.
shovel it in the cans. Yeah.
Throw the whole can away?
Yeah, I wouldn't throw the can away now. You just shovel it in.
You're going to take about a week of pressure washing to clean them.
Yeah, we might. Well, then maybe you give them over to Barnard and we wash them at the, shoot them with some Clorox.
Hey, Bernard, we got a shitty prize for you.
Yeah.
Nah, don't get rid of the cans.
All right, well, this is, it's sad because that's somebody's mom. That's somebody's wife.
There's a story in there.
Yeah. So was she? Did she die then?
I think so.
We think
she passed
so.
away? You think so?
And the dude said that 4 days. He said they found somebody that was dead that was in their house for 4 days.
And they don't know. They didn't say
in
which
this area,
unit.
but he didn't say who.
He didn't say what.
Didn't say here.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's kind of.
That bed looks like somebody might have died on it. Yeah.
When I looked and I said it, there's blood all on this bed.
All right, guys. All right. Well, thank you, man. Hopefully you don't mind being on YouTube. So when I pulled into this neighborhood today, I came up the street and it doesn't look anything like it did before. But Logan and I, right before Hurricane Irma came through, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, we came in here and bid out tearing down a house for somebody, and they were in a big hurry. They were going to get behind with the HOA, and they didn't want to get behind. So if they had their mobile home torn down and off the lot before the end of the month, they didn't have to pay their $650 lot fee. So we talked to her, told her how much. It was like $6 grand. She said, I don't have the money. So I said, hey, how about you just sign over your mobile home to me? She says, well, you have to be 60 or 55 to live here. And this is before I was 55. So I said, well, no problem. I'm allowed to own one in here. I just can't live here. And she says, yeah, you're right. That's true. So she signed it over to us. We spent $21,000 renovating it. We took all this really nice stuff and I paid some guys to do the work, and we renovated it and made it amazing. It looked like a high-end condominium down from downtown Naples. Meanwhile, Hurricane Irma comes in. Logan and I weather it out over there at Bonita Beach Walk. And as soon as the storm was over, we came over here. There was water up to here in this whole park. We walked over and we couldn't get in here, so we had to go back and get our Bobcat. We got the Bobcat and we used it and we pulled the trees out of the way so everybody could get back in here, and we rode the Bobcat back, went around a corner. The whole roof was gone on our mobile home. So, funny thing is, we had an offer on it about a week and a half before Irma hit. It was a cash offer. They offered us $69,000 for it. One of the realtors I knew told me that we could get like $89,000 for it, so we were going to hold out for it, and now we ended up having to tear it down. So we lost $21,000 plus tearing it down fees and so on and so forth. So that's how we primed ourselves into Hurricane Irma. We spent it because once a hurricane hits, it takes a day or two for people to start calling around getting stuff done. So while we were in that mode, we tore down this mobile home. So at any rate, we're back in here, and this is one of them that I guess the trailer park owns, and whoever was in here, they're probably going through a really bad time. Okay, they're probably maybe a recluse or an alcoholic or something like that, but some of the stuff that's inside of this is just freaking disgusting. Come here and take a look at what's in this trailer. Look at that. It's just like all the trash that they had for the longest time, they just threw it on the ground. They're shoveling this stuff up with debris shovels and putting it into garbage cans. There's probably 200 to 300 big fat bottles of empty wine bottles. It smells so bad. A couple of the guys here, they threw up this morning. Okay, so at any rate, the cameraman, you can't see him, but he's got a mask on too. I can't smell anything, although I probably should be breathing it anyway. But at any rate, this place is, we've done a lot of hoarder houses in my lifetime. This is in the top, it's in the top 4, like Talon said. It's disgusting. So we're gonna bounce these guys a little bit of extra money for dealing with this and not having a bad attitude about it. So they're still hustling and getting it done. So that's it. It's Dave Lockwood, Remove It Pros Demolition, and that's a hoarder house.